In this video, we will talk about nutrients in multiple sclerosis, and in particular about fatty acids. Various long-chain and saturated fatty acids are considered beneficial for people affected with MS, such as eicosapentaenoic acid or EPA, docosahexaenoic acid or DHA, and linolenic acid or ALA, which are polyunsaturated omega-3 fatty acids, and oleic acid, which is a monounsaturated fatty acid. These fatty acids are considered beneficial in MS because they are anti-inflammatory, that is, they are capable of diverting pro-inflammatory immune responses to anti-inflammatory and regulatory responses. And which foods are rich in these fatty acids? A food rich in EPA is oily fish. Oily fish is also rich in DHA. Foods rich in ALA are walnuts, flax seeds, and flaxseed oil. And oleic acid is the main component of olive oil, and it is also found in high amounts in avocado. Omega-3 fatty acids can also be taken as supplements. The optimal doses for people affected by MS have not yet been established. So, the recommended dose is the same as for the healthy adult population, which is between 250 and 500 milligrams daily for EPA and DHA, and between 1,100 and 1,600 milligrams daily for ALA. Regarding safety, as with all supplements, you should read the product data sheets and consult your neurologist. And regarding toxicity, a consumption of less than 5,000 milligrams per day is considered safe. For EPA and DHA fatty acids, there are several clinical trials that suggest that their consumption may benefit people with MS. Some of these studies have been carried out with oil from oily fish rich in these fatty acids, and other studies with supplements. For the fatty acid ALA, although there are still no clinical trials, there are observational studies conducted through questionnaires that also suggest a beneficial effect of this fatty acid in MS. Other fatty acids that also appear to be beneficial in MS are the short-chain fatty acids butyrate and propionate. These fatty acids appear to have an anti-inflammatory effect on the responses of the immune system, and there is also evidence that suggests that they could be neuroprotective, that is, they could protect neurons against oxidative stress, which is extremely interesting for people affected by MS. Since these fatty acids are capable of crossing the blood-brain barrier and therefore can access the central nervous system. And which foods are rich in butyrate and propionate? Well, the truth is that these fatty acids are not found in food, but are produced by the bacteria of the gut microbiota during the process of fermentation of the remains of food that reach the large intestine. Foods that help us maintain a healthy and diverse gut microbiota also help us to have high levels of short-chain fatty acids. Short-chain fatty acids can be taken as supplements, although the optimal dosage for people with MS is still unknown. Regarding the scientific evidence, up until now, there are only preclinical studies, although some are very relevant and promising, such as this one, in which it was shown that the microbiota of people affected by MS was different from that of healthy controls and was characterized by a lower presence of butyrate-producing bacteria. Finally, we will talk about long-chain saturated fatty acids, which, unlike those seen so far, are considered harmful in MS, since they promote pro-inflammatory immune responses. Foods rich in this type of fatty acids are, for example, whole cow milk, butter, fatty meats, pastries that contain fat of animal origin, palm oil, or coconuts. Regarding the scientific evidence, there is a very important observational study published in The Lancet by Dr. Swank in 1990, in which 144 people with MS were followed for a period of 34 years. A part of these people followed a diet low in saturated fatty acids, while the rest followed a diet rich in these fatty acids. When disability was analyzed after 34 years, it was observed that in the group that had followed a diet low in saturated fatty acids, the number of people with minimal disability was higher and the number of people with severe disability somewhat lower. suggesting a detrimental effect of saturated fatty acids in multiple sclerosis. Our recommendation for people with multiple sclerosis is eliminate foods rich in saturated fatty acids such as butter, bacon, fatty meats, palm oil, and pastries or processed foods, since many of these contain animal fats or palm oil. Increase the consumption of blue fish to once or twice a week, and if you are vegetarian or vegan, that of walnuts, flaxseed oil, or flax seeds to increase the consumption of omega-3 fatty acids. If, for some reason, you cannot increase the consumption of these foods, you can take omega-3 as a supplement. And finally, extra virgin olive oil should be your main source of lipids. Although the evidence is promising, we cannot yet recommend the consumption of short-chain fatty acid supplements.